Welcome. It is time for the radio. Wild and Weird Radio Live. Joseph, are you there? Joseph,
yeah,
you there?
I'm here. Can you guys, am I like glitchy? Can you track me?
I got you fine over here on this end.
Okay,
everybody let us know.
My internet is super funky at the moment.
Oh, okay. Anyway, folks, if you are just now joining us, and we hope you are just now joining us because this show starts at 8 p.m. Every Thursday. This is Wild and Weird Radio Live. We are going to be going over some interesting stuff tonight. This is what we do on this show is we kind of go over some of the news and what's going on. Sometimes we go over, local news. Sometimes we go over national news. Sometimes we go over stuff that
it's national news. It's rarely local.
It's almost always. Yeah, exactly. Every now and again, it's our news, which is local, typically.
Yep. That would be your local news for the most part.
That's your local
news. Something crazy.
Yeah.
Mothman related, usually.
Mothman. No. But sometimes it's our research. We go over a lot of things. Tonight, we're going to be going over the Varginha case because, that's a thing. And apparently that was a big deal, right? It was the 30th anniversary. So we're going to go over that. There was a press conference, and we're going to talk about what was said and what wasn't said, because there was some interesting things that may have come out of this. A lot of people think there wasn't too much to it, but there kind of was. There kind of was. Doomsday Dave has joined us, folks. It is Doomsday Dave. He's right over there.
Speaking of Doomsday Dave, the entire East Coast is about to get mollywopped.
I had nothing to do with that.
Hope you guys are all getting prepared. There's going to be a lot of ice, a lot of snow. Just be prepared.
Yeah, because no one knows where it's going to land. Apparently, that's the most amazing thing of it, because it's
right
from 1 inch to 46. So I think we could probably do a really good job of probably predicting this one, guys. Honestly, just as good as anyone else.
I think we're going to get 100. I think here in our region, which is, the Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, across central West Virginia, we can probably bet at least 6 to 8. That's my bet.
Yeah. Well, we got to remember, we just had 6.5 a couple of weeks ago.
We did.
Let's not forget that. A lot of people are like, 6 inches. And it's like, guys, you just had 6 inches of snow.
Right. The problem with this one is it looks like it's going to largely start as like a wet, soppy ice.
Maybe. We'll see. We're going to watch it.
Just because the temperatures are going to be a little bit higher when it starts.
Yeah. We're going to be watching.
Remember, 10 years ago today, we had up to 2 feet of snow.
Yeah, that's right. It was a big one. Yep. I remember that. There's some actual pictures somewhere around here. Yeah. It was that was quite an adventure. So let's hope for the best with all the weather and whatnot, guys. And like Joe said, stay warm, stay safe. That's the whole point. Tips for the shovelers of the collective headquarters. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary, man. We appreciate you, brother. Hope you guys are all doing okay out there. Let's go ahead and greet some folks.
Let's greet them in. Bring them in.
We got Wolves Den hanging out. We got Justin Old Hippie. How's it going? Donna Ho is here and accounted for. Enzo is somewhere. Enzo is local. It's in the the local grocery store wiped out for the snow.
Yeah, snowpocalypse. That's right. Yeah.
It's bread and beer time right now, guys. We got Larry Hose. What's going on?
Larry made it, everybody. Welcome, Larry, in.
This is the first project.
Larry's managed to make the beginning of a show for a while, so welcome.
I know his work's been running him ragged.
Ada and the Owls are here, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah, Ada with all the owls.
Sometimes they're not owls.
Stone Maven, what's going on? Lisa's here.
Lisa's here to go.
Uvaru is waving. What's going on?
It looks like we got our normal family here. That's great.
We do. We got the huge.
That's
Rob
great.
Posey, what's going on? What's up, fellow weirdo? The octopus has arrived.
Octo's here.
Ashley's here. But before we got started,
See Ashley.
Chris, what's going on, man? Good to see you. And I think it catches this. Oh, there's Oz. Oz is in.
Oz is in.
Yep.
Well, the party can start now.
Going through real quick, making sure Trackway's here. We got Trackway, LR Miller. Hey, we got a decent crowd starting out tonight.
Sure do. And then speaking of starting out, I just kicked your goal, but you're already 3 ahead. So we're just going to count that off on our own. We do have a new blessing to unlock tonight. Just to let y'all know.
And for those of you
who are
that
completely
might not be aware, the Sky Daddy for the foreseeable future will not be joining us because the Sky Daddy himself, Matthew McConaughey, has trademarked his likeness and image to compete and fight against AI. So until we can get a green light, which we're trying, by the way.
Don't blame him. Don't blame him.
Yeah, no, I don't either. Not in the slightest.
I mean,
but we are trying to get an agreement to an official agreement and endorsement that we're hitting for it. We're trying to go for it for the use of the Sky Daddy.
One never knows. But here's what I can say: any use that we've ever done of the Sky Daddy there's not a touch of AI in it.
No, there's not. It's an actual photo.
He's specifically going after AI at this point, but we're playing it safe. So we'll have other blessings for you. Don't worry. We got other things planned. We got some new stuff. We got some stuff that, I've created, and, I've got other things to entertain you with. I have the magic flute. We can play the magic flute for you. So
even have some verb.
See, I got you hooked up. I got like 2 mics here. This is kind of crazy. Doing crazy things.
And here,
tonight.
check this out. We still have this guy.
There you go. Exactly.
And because we're 3 ahead, it's that time. The one, the only Sky Dolly has not.
That's true.
Trademarked.
Dolly. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Everybody, basically hit your likes and all that stuff. Let's kick up the algorithm, get it going, share this thing out, get it out there for everybody. So everybody gets to see it. Hail the Sky Jellies. Absolutely.
Mothman has retained the council and is aggressively pursuing all use of his image.
Actually, that's true.
Yeah, it really is. The official Mothman logo that you see that's at the museum, that the one that everybody likes to try to use, that is actually trademarked by Jeff Walmsley himself.
Congratulations, my friend. He managed to do that last year, and we were very happy for him.
Yep.
Let's see. So anyway, we are we're going to be talking about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got some other things to talk about, but one of the most important things I want to hit before we talk about anything, Joe, and that is, let me find it here. I'm going to go pull this up really quick because we actually need your expert advice on this. So I'm going to defer this over into your department so we can get some things cleared up about this. Okay. So let me find it real quick. You got us in presentation mode. I need to go to presentation mode. Thank you, sir, very much. 26. Yeah, here we go. Week 4. Here we go. I do believe. Yeah, here it is. Can you address this for the kind folks on the internet web thing, by the way?
Oh boy. Yeah, that's going around. In severe cold cause exploding trees. Kind of. They're frost cracks, but that's not the original article.
No, I was not going to give them any. No, I'm just not going to do it just because
the original article was an exploding tree alert for the Midwest.
Yep.
And yes, kind of, sort of, like it can happen, but not like it's when they pop, they don't explode and like throw shrapnel. It's
Yeah.
not like when you have downforce wind come straight down and it twists a tree and pops it. What happens here is specifically in white pines and eastern pines, as well as maple varieties. Those are all, and beech trees. Those are all trees that retain a ton of water. Sycamores, oddly, aren't too prone to it because they're so hard and rigid, and they don't have that much of a twisting inside of their structure. But the others are, and what happens is it freezes, right? And it gets really cold really, really fast. So cold, so fast that the outside starts to compress and shrink. You know, it's trying to force the water in, right? So it's not freezing, because we know when things freeze, they expand. But what trees do naturally is they compress and push moisture down into the root system under the ground where it won't cause damage. But we freeze so fast sometimes that moisture gets trapped on the inside, and it doesn't all get pushed down into the roots or out into the ground. And while the exterior, the layer of the tree that is the living layer, like when you cut under the bark, that white, soft, kind of wet, sappy layer, it will constrict, and the interior, which will have some of the wood, will actually expand rapidly and cause what sounds like a bomb going off. It's not nearly as dramatic as it sounds, unless there's already like damage within the tree. Then you might see a big fissure open up where it'll split. Like if the tree, specifically beech trees, are prone to that because they're mostly dead in the middle. Beech trees are bad about being hollowed out. Bears will actually hibernate in them, but the trees will actually, the beech trees might blow apart a little bit, but the rest, they just make this extremely loud popping noise. And then the following spring, maybe a quarter, if maybe more, of the upper branches just won't sprout leaves because that part of the tree is dead.
So basically, if a tree actually explodes, then it's probably Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, that's what I would go for. And that tree was probably never a tree in the beginning, and it was probably a hidden government frequency tower that was designed to mind read people,
right? Probably G10.
Yes, probably G10 at least, G10. At minimum G10.
Been on G10
or 10G.
Sorry, yeah. G10. Yeah, 10G. Justin, old hippie, blessings go out to you, my friend. Send some blessings out.
Says, have you heard of the frost quakes? While we're getting ready to throw a blessing up there, because you guys, a few of you have thrown in blessings. Brenda, thank you so much. Brenda Ratliff, because it's my birthday. Oh, thank you so much. You gifted us on your birthday. We're gonna have to get something for you there. Help take care of you for your birthday. Thank you so much.
Throw a little tune your way too. That'll be good. We'll do that. Yeah.
And so for all that, thank you guys. Here let's see how many we got. How many are we at?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
8. We're at 8. 6. 2 away, guys. 2 away from the unlock.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So here we go. In the meantime, thank you. Trying to find one that I can. There we go.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I can't wait till they see the new one. The new one is just fun.
We're almost there.
Yeah, we're gonna get
almost there.
All right, so let's do a audio blessing now. Here's the audio blessing. So. Yeah, there you go. Next up,
frost quakes, real quick. Have you guys heard of frost quakes? We get them in Vermont.
I have heard.
There's a lot of moisture in the ground, and it freezes and suddenly cracks.
Yeah, have heard of that. Absolutely, have heard of that. So that's a real thing. So what we just learned, guys, is that social media is bombarding you with some of the craziest stuff right now. Just to let you know.
Yep.
And some of it's real. Some of it's very real, and others has been manipulated, kind of like that Russian snowstorm. Just a little, but that was still bad. That was 8 feet of snow. So
Yeah.
that ain't nothing to mess with. But
Now, some of those drifts from where it was that light powdery stuff,
yes,
it did reach up to like the 8th and 9th floors
Yes,
of
that's
buildings
insane.
because the drift, it just kind of moved and pushed it. But that
Pretty insane.
wasn't all like precipitated right there.
No. Let's see. What else do we have? We had a massive gosh, what? $10.
$10 if you play Enter Vader on that, Ron.
Okay, so anyway, it's an A3. I don't think I can get where you need to be with that. But maybe next week I can try. Who knows? Let's talk about this because Dave's here. Doomsday Dave's here, everyone. Welcome, Doomsday Dave, by the way.
Hey, welcome. Hello.
I know, I forgot. You've been sick. You've been under the weather. You've been predisposed with the crud. And
I had COVID for the third time.
Oh
Right.
boy.
He did. Yes, that's correct, everyone.
It's so fun.
So this past week, we Earth got blasted again. And
Gave me a tremendous headache. That was
yeah. Well, it gave me a bad mood. I was in a bad mood for days. I didn't know what was really going on. I usually check, and I didn't check. And then Dave sent me the thing. I'm like, oh, of course that's what it is. But bad one though, right, Dave? I'm not just joking here. This is real. Like it was
it was record breaking. I think they said we had one that strong since 91, I believe.
91. Yeah.
It actually interfered with some devices, and I don't think it was anything too major. It was no Carrington event. It didn't wipe anything out, but definitely felt it. I didn't see it though. I went outside, looked north, and it was supposedly brighter than the one we had about a month or two ago.
The problem was the stream was more southerly, right? That was what the issue was.
I had a friend in Alaska. She lives up there near Fairbanks. Got some incredible footage.
Oh, no doubt.
Can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
She was blown away. She said it's never looked so. She's been living up in Alaska for about 4 or 5 months now, and it just never looked so good.
Well, what was really weird about it, Joe, take us to presentation mode. I want to show this real quick because this is weird with this storm. I mean, we got pummeled pretty good, but what's really weird about this?
We have reached the goal.
Oh, we reached the goal?
Keeping it free. Larry, thank you so much. You pushed us over the top, and it is time.
Let's do it. Let's do the reveal.
Here we go. I dig it.
Yeah.
Many blessings initiated.
Many blessings initiated, Earth people. Okay, so this is what's weird, Dave. Now, that area doesn't typically get aurora. Am I wrong?
Not usually that far south, yeah.
Right. Yet
it's pretty unique.
They did get the aurora this time. So it was really far south. I think that's one of the big things about this. That's kind of a strange. Yeah.
It was really spread out. I mean, it was very spread out.
Yeah. No, we saw nothing here. Just like you said, we got nothing here, but there are folks who did. Did you get to see it?
Yeah, we got to see it here. Me and the boys and Kelly, we went out. All we could see was just a faint purple hue over in the north.
Yeah.
But Lauren Cole down at Chief Logan State Park, she went out and she got some great pictures with her DSLR.
Oh, wow. Well, I've seen some from, the Pennsylvania area. They got it. So I really think you had to be just a little bit, either had to be in dark skies or you had to be in a little more north is what it seemed like.
Yep. And Lauren had the luxury of being in the dark skies.
Exactly. So, that being said, I think that's all the local stuff and the things that we had going on here. So, How many of you guys did watch the press conference the other day?
Yep. Oh yeah.
You watch it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Joe,
Witnesses specifically.
did you catch it?
I did. The only portion of it that I caught live because I was in meetings was the Q&A, but then went back and watched the rest of it.
Yeah. So what I did for you guys is, instead of, if you didn't watch the whole thing, we went through, we picked out some highlight sections on this, and I actually edited it down to the translations. So you don't have to, sit here for 20 minutes while there's someone speaking and then someone translating. So the story's a little more condensed for you. You can understand it a little bit better. But there's some really interesting stuff that happened there. And, for the folks who don't know about, the whole Virginia case, Joe, you want to read some of that out? Have it somewhere around here in notes, I believe. And I want to pop these up here for these.
Well, on January 20th, 1996, the residents of Varginha, Brazil, reported seeing a cigar-shaped object in distress. It was trailing smoke and emitting a strong odor, and witnesses described the crash site as having debris and the smell of ammonia and rotten eggs. Military vehicles arrived quickly, and civilians were ordered away. Sometimes they were ordered to leave because they were under threat. 3 young women encountered a small, oily, kind of a slick-skinned brown creature that it had large red eyes. Note the red eyes. 3 bumps on its head. And there was a strong, unpleasant odor. The being appeared frightened and possibly injured. The girls fled, and their mother later found a 3-toed footprint, and the site had a lingering odor. Later, other witnesses described seeing similar entities, and some claimed that more than one being was present. Not far from the area where the creature was sighted initially, a military police officer, Marco Eli Cherez, spots an apparent creature and grabs it, throwing it into his vehicle. He attempts to take the creature to an ER, but is turned away. He takes it to a regional hospital, and he later succumbs to a strange infection, which he contracted from a small scratch from this creature in his armpit. Dr. Armando Fortunato, a forensic pathologist, performed an autopsy on the soldier. According to him, the officer developed a severe, rapidly progressing infection that did not respond to standard treatments. The autopsy, because this gentleman unfortunately passed, revealed to have a highly virulent highly virulent drug-resistant pathogen. And it didn't behave like any bacteria that he had ever seen before. Another senior pathologist, Dr. Yahini, reported that these findings stated that the bacterium did not correspond to any known terrestrial organisms and resisted multiple drug classes. On the 30th anniversary, filmmaker James Fox hosted a major press conference. That was this past Tuesday. And in this press conference, they had the doctors, the ones who performed these pathologies and the ones who performed the autopsies on hand. They described a non-human being alive that they worked on, that they saw, that they were able to interact with to a degree. And it had lilac teardrop shaped eyes, white skin, and 3 fingers with an opposing thumb. Dr. Armando summarized his findings as well as Dr. Yahini's testimony, and there were allegations of a cover-up, U.S. involvement with sincere testimony from witnesses. But did we learn anything new, and where will this case go from here?
And where did the little guy end up? There's the other question, right? That's the $1 million question. Well,
my bet would be in a very similar situation as one of the first crash sites here in the United States, where they were ordered a Christian burial.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible, right?
You're talking about an extremely religious area. Brazil is profoundly Catholic, and they have very, very strong beliefs in burial rites and last rites, and
Hmm.
I would be willing to bet that this entity was given a similar treatment
I doubt
as
it.
to what we've seen here in the States by the Southern Baptists.
Nah, no, it ended up out of there.
Well, yeah, out of there. Yeah,
Like
they didn't bury it in the hospital.
No, I mean it never made it out of Brazil. I mean, it made it out of Brazil. It definitely left Brazil. I think that there's a good chance that it, or what was left of it, ended up probably here somewhere, and that would be because of those USAF, flights that came in and back
now,
out.
do you think that was them taking biologics, or do you think that was them retrieving similar material to what was retrieved from Roswell?
The rumor is that they did take it, but where did they take it? That's the question. And that's why we're going to play these clips. And then at the end, you're going to hear the one person that I think that really put the challenge out. I mean, that was the Air Force colonel who really put the challenge out and basically said, we know that you were there. We know you saw this, come forward. And just that, man, I'll tell you what, yeah, the testimony, right? The setups were just like, I don't know. They were not that good. You're 100% right. But man, when they started talking, and I'm afraid that's the problem. A lot of people just saw that and was like, okay, I'm out. The colonel was great. Yeah. And I think that's the issue. I think a lot of people did tune out at that point. So we're going to go over some of that stuff. Oh, okay. You ready to roll on this thing?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Grab some footage here for us. Clips to use. That's the one we want. So let's see. Who should we go for first? Let's see. Talia, James. Let's actually, you know what? Let's go to Carlos. His testimony. This is the guy who saw the craft in distress and it was crashing. I left a little bit at the end of his original because he gets very emotional. I want you to see that. Because I think that there's so many people who think, there's no actual evidence. You can't take, witness accounts as evidence. But when they're this sincere, you've got to. Here we go.
I got there, I smelled a foul odor like ammonia with rotten eggs, burning my eyes. Half the craft remained intact by a tree, and the debris of the back part was scattered everywhere.
Nesse momento, rapidamente, meu Deus, o que é isso?
At that point, I was in the middle of the wreckage, and I picked up a lightweight fragment resembling aluminum foil. I crumpled it in my hand, but when I let go, it instantly resumed its shape.
Eu estou mandando, eu vou abrir a tua cabeça no meio se você não for embora.
A soldier approached fast and hit me in the chest with his rifle, so I was forced to drop the metal I was holding. He shouted, "Leave now." I replied, "No, people in there need help." He aimed his gun at my head and said, "I am not requesting, it is an order. Leave now or I'll split your skull."
Muito assustado mesmo com tudo aquilo.
I turned and departed immediately. I was very scared and confused.
Sim.
I left the area and stopped at the first gas station to compose myself. A few minutes later, a very dark blue, near black vehicle pulled up. Two suited men got out and approached me.
Pay attention where this is going.
Two suited men.
Not three, though. Two.
Vida.
One of these men approached him and called him by name, stating his address, naming wife and business, and he asked, "Who are you?" And this man threatened, "You saw nothing, you know nothing, or you will have problems for the rest of your life."
A placa no veículo. Eles simplesmente partiram.
They departed swiftly. I grabbed a napkin to write down the license plate, but there wasn't one.
Imploro a todos os presentes aqui, após 30 anos ridicularizado, julgado pela sociedade. Sorry. Não nos abandone. Novamente. Permitam que a verdade venha à tona. Tenham coragem de falar a verdade para nós. Eu não sou louco. Ninguém é louco aqui. Tenho família com qualquer um. Por favor, falem a verdade àquele que sabe, às autoridades. Só peço isso. Obrigado.
I implore the authorities and people present, after 30 years of ridicule and societal judgment, do not abandon us again. Allow the truth to emerge. Summon the courage to disclose it. Thank you very much.
Obrigado.
Thoughts, comments, reactions?
Seth says, I'd be willing to bet the ET was taken to a right pat or somewhere in Southwest for examinations. Could have been.
Could have been. We don't know.
The girls described what they saw differently. It shows that there was a variety, or there's a variety.
Well, we also have to remember that what was seen was described as brown and oily, and then it's white and lilac eyes. We don't know what that morphology is, right?
No, I can tell you what happens when I kill an octopus or a squid.
I know that, and it's probably true. That could be what it is. I mean, it really could be. It could have been that bad.
Lisa, I threw a link down here in the comments for you. That is where you'll find the whole thing streamed. You know, when humans die, they tend to turn a little gray or pale. You know, you lose the color of life. And in a lot of creatures that have a more translucent skin, they do tend to turn white.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like octopus, squid, snails, a lot of fish. You know, we've seen that in the hobby for years, working in aquariums and such. Like, you know,
Right.
certain fish will have absolutely vibrant colors, but then the minute they die, they either turn super, super bright or they turn
Yeah.
super, super pale.
Yeah. Well, now you've offended our friend. So congratulations.
Oh yeah. Kill octopus. Oops. Sorry.
For those who don't know, Joe is a chef.
Yep.
So that's where that came from. He is not I don't even know what I would call. I don't know. Anyway, he's a chef. So he's seen his.
Yeah. And
Sure.
when we got things in, a lot of the times they would come in like live or live adjacent when it came to seafood.
Yeah.
Octopus, snails, clams, a lot of that stuff comes in alive, or like I said, live adjacent.
Yeah. But yeah, that's to me, his testimony, it says a lot. You know, here we have a guy who saw this craft. I didn't get the whole thing for you because you can go over there and watch it. I mean, that's not going to take away their views, because, you know, honestly, they did a wonderful job. They actually streamed this for free for everyone to watch. And then they replayed it, which was amazing to me, because I really figured if you weren't there to see it live, you weren't going to see it. But yes, it's all there just as they recorded it. And Ross did some pretty good, you know, commentary on it. I'll be honest. He did some really good stuff. They had some bad issues in the beginning with sound and whatnot, but that's common with live streams. So just fast forward through that and get to the main thing. But the takeaway from this is there's a craft. It's crashing, right? He sees it crash. There's material on the ground. This is Roswell again, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Except we can talk about this one.
Because it didn't happen here.
Exactly. It didn't happen here. But as we heard from all these people, they were either threatened, don't say anything, or they were tried to be bought out. You know, there's one of these witnesses who comes forward on there. I didn't put those on there, by the way, because they're too long. Go watch the original videos. James has some of the original witnesses who gave video testimony, and they're not, you know, verbally translated, but it has subtitles, and some of them are long. But some of those testimonies are just amazing. You get to hear from the girl's mother. I don't know that she's done that I don't know if any of these guys have ever done this stuff to this degree of publicity, in public. But you heard that. You've got one of the soldiers, I believe, who said he transported it. That's on there. And there's another one where they're talking about, this thing may have not have been alone, right? I mean,
Right.
that's where it gets interesting, because it really seems like we've got a crash, and we've got someone down, and they're trying to find their missing comrade, their pilot, whatever it was, right?
That is really what it seemed like.
It did. It seems like this was a search and rescue mission, and it went really not good. And then we have to look at some of the rumors we've heard about. This is before this came out last year, where they were saying about the alien technology and stuff, right? Like, because we were on the clock, because they were coming back to get what belonged to them. Remember that? Remember when they were saying that?
Yeah.
Could this be what they're talking about? I mean, that's something to think about. It really is.
Beth brings up another point. It says, depending on what their skin is made of, they could appear differently in different light settings. So their chromatophores could refract light in certain situations. Like if they're out in natural daylight, it could be a photosensitivity situation where they darken their skin to protect themselves. I mean, we don't know what these things are. We don't know what they're capable of. There's a lot of speculation
We can
go from the color that the girls reported to the color that the doctors recalled. But again,
look at the data. Look at the data.
It's data, but I want to draw another parallel here real quick.
Cuttlefish.
Well, the cuttlefish are like squid, cuttlefish, all that. They all can
Color
kind of
changing.
do that.
Yeah.
What I'm going to draw another parallel with is public media. E.T., the movie.
Oh, yeah.
E.T. came out in the 80s. Brown, oily skin. When he got sick, when he was being looked at by the military because he was dying, he was pale as a ghost. When they're out in the stream and they have they're finding him, and they find E.T. and Elliot, and they're down in the stream, and they're both pale and gaunt.
That's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
So 10 years before it was predicted, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Was it predicted, or did we already know something?
That's what I'm saying.
Spielberg.
Almost like somebody knew something. Again. How strange.
Close Encounters. E.T. The
You
day
guys remember
Disclosure Day.
Yeah, there we go. I think it was George Knapp. Remember when George Knapp went down to Brazil?
Oh yeah.
Here recently.
Yeah. That
Not
last
been that recent, but
documentary
fairly.
he did last year, right?
Yeah.
I
He
forget
done
what
an
the name of the
interview on
documentary
it.
was. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, he went to I think it was the house that was the closest to where the event took place, and of course the old, I think it was an old man. I guess the old man in the home would not come out and speak to him because he basically feared for his life.
Oh no, that was James. That was James when he was.
That's right.
You're thinking
That's
about the
right.
first moment of contact. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was threatened. Yeah. That guy wasn't going to talk to him.
Now,
That's right.
That was
George
a big
Knapp
one.
went down to Brazil last year sometime,
Yes.
and they were recording UFOs out on the water.
Yes, they did. And we really thought there was going to be more to that, didn't we? And
and then it just went away.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Probably got to shut up.
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Probably shut up.
No, I think it was because that was actually a TV production.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was something. There was some stuff that happened last year that just kind of quietly faded away, and that was one of the big things. I mean, they actually had good data. I thought that was good data anyway. We got some comments over there we can throw up. Are we good? Are we ready to roll?
Yeah, we're already caught up.
We're good? Okay. We're going to roll to the next one and take us into presentation. Let's see who we have. Let me see who we have. We have, not that. I don't want that one. 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 Oh yeah, I do want that one actually. I want to talk about this because this was what we thought and hoped, and this was during the Q&A. Someone asked a question, and I just want to go ahead and pop this one up here because, again, listen to how this is answered.
Getting the video of the Varginha case, and
are you any closer to getting video of the Varginha case?
The orange UFO that looked alive that you spoke about before.
Well, for the first time, we have names of those that were in possession of it. So if that's closer, then yes, we are. But there are forces, powers that be out there that we're just trying to see who can get there faster.
Yeah.
It's an echo on Dave's mic.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I've been muting it back and forth when we go into media, but I forgot to get that one too quick.
That's weird. We
Hang
hadn't
on.
had
I'm
that
taking
issue
it
for a long
back.
time.
Yeah, I missed it when we went into that one, so, but I caught it there a couple seconds in.
That should help what I just did.
Okay.
All right. So, no, Dave.
It's still loud.
All right. Usually it's not a problem. It's weird.
Yeah, I did that one time before.
It might be the setting on my mic. I might need it. I might.
Probably.
It could be that, or if it's a directional mic too.
All right. How's that?
But yeah. I hear a little bit, but it's not bad.
It's not terrible. All right. So the deal is they know where it's at this time.
They know the names.
They know the names. It seems like there's a race, basically, like he said, that it's in the race is on, that kind of thing. How close are they to it? He didn't really answer that, but he also didn't not answer that. If you think about how he said that. Now, I probably wouldn't have said anything, to be honest with you, because
yeah, anything you say publicly like that in a situation that is this sensitive, it creates a problem. It can potentially create vacuums that will suck up any remaining data or findings that you could get your hands on.
Yeah. Okay, let's see where we're at now. And back to presentation. Let's go with let's go with the pathology results. Let's do that. Here we go.
Good day. I hereby state that I am telling the truth and that I have no conflict of interest, personal or otherwise. I was assigned to perform the autopsy on the body of the 23-year-old soldier, Marco Elixerezi, whose unexpected death led the commander of the military police of the state of Minas Gerais to request an investigation on suspicion of professional error.
Okay, so he was called in because the results, they were weird. They didn't match what should be there, right? They thought there was an error.
It was considered unusual that a young, healthy soldier would die as a result of what appeared to be a simple abscess in the underarm area. I sent organ fragments and blood samples to my colleague, the renowned pathologist, Dr. João Batista Giannini, for laboratory assessment and further clarification. A recent scar was observed in the left underarm region as a result from a surgical drainage of an infectious lesion. The patient died a few days later, despite having been evaluated and treated by other physicians with high doses of anti-inflammatory medications and antibiotics. As the infection was caused by a highly virulent and multi-drug resistant bacterium, it progressed rapidly, spreading throughout the body and resulting in septic shock, eventually leading to the death of the young soldier.
So that's the first part. You want to go ahead and throw up some of those comments before we go to the next one?
So Donna says, which politician was it who watched E.T. and said something to the effect, if people only knew how close this is to the truth, that would be Ronald Reagan.
That'd be Ronald Reagan. Yeah, that's right.
Then Beth, a lot of people are going to be in crisis when they learn the truth. That's what Oz said back to Beth when Beth asked, it's astounding how many people are still in doubt.
Yeah.
Then Octopus says, we've all heard, shred these top secret files, Private, right?
Shred them, burn them, whatever, right? Just get rid of them.
Oz says, I feel so sorry for that young soldier. I do too. Angie is here. What's going on, Angie? Good to see you. Beth says it's going to be an interesting 26, 27. Yeah.
Already is.
It really is going to be. And now here, I'm going to also throw out a bit of speculation.
Speculation. We don't do that.
There's a lot of people, right? There's a lot of people thinking that this might have just been a harmless scratch from an encounter. But what if this thing knew our anatomy? You have a ton of lymph nodes located in your armpit. If you get sepsis near a lymph node, it spreads rapidly. Just a thought. That's just a, little bit of first aid field medic stuff there for you.
It's data. I mean,
It might not have been just an innocent little scratch.
Never know. Never know. Where was I at? Was that pathology 1, pathology 2? Here we go.
Fortunately, the pathologist, Dr. Giannini, was unable to attend our event due to his advanced age, but he prepared a written statement that was carefully translated to present to you today. We'll invite Mateus over to the stage to read the statement for you guys.
Most honorable ladies and gentlemen, distinguished authorities, scientists, and representatives of the institutions gathered here. My name is João Giannini. I am a professor and doctor with specialization in anatomic pathology. I worked professionally for 60 years, during which I performed more than 50,000 autopsies, conducted over 1 million microscopic analyses, and served as a preceptor to more than 200 postgraduate students.
That is quite an achievement there that he just read off, by the way.
I carried out academic activities at 3 higher education institutions: Fluminense Federal University, the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, and the University of Brasilia, where I held the position of associate professor. In the southern region of Minas Gerais, I founded the Institute for Prevention and Diagnosis, IPD, where I developed and implemented programs focused on cancer prevention. The access granted to me was limited exclusively to tissue fragments collected during the autopsy of the body of soldier Marco Eli Scerezi. Subsequently, I received circumstantial reports presented by gentlemen ufologists who requested a review of the previously mentioned material. Based on these reports, I prepared my conclusions focusing exclusively on the identification and analysis of the bacterium responsible for the infection that affected the soldier. This bacterium proved to be a microbial agent of extremely high aggressiveness and lethality. Given its characteristics, I understand that it goes beyond the limits of a conventional infection, possibly presenting itself as a highly specialized mechanism of aggression and defense, which raises the hypothesis of its alien origin. We are currently awaiting the necessary legal procedures for the exhumation of the body.
Pay attention to that part right there, for example.
With the expectation that advanced studies in molecular biology may provide new evidence regarding its mechanisms of aggressiveness, corroborating the hypothesis that it is an organism of extraterrestrial origin. If confirmed, such a finding would represent unequivocal proof of the existence of extraterrestrial life, implying a profound global reformulation of our philosophical understanding of existence. January the 8th, 2026, Virginia, Dr. J. Giannini.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Now, to put that in perspective, that's around over his tenure. I did the math on it while I was at work because, 50,000 autopsies, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
If he didn't take a day off work for 60 years, that's 2.35, roughly 2.35 autopsies a day. That's if he didn't take a day off of work for the entire tenure. We know he did. So odds are he was really conducting like 5 or 6 autopsies a day.
That's insane.
Yeah. We already got that one. Gotta get.
Yeah, we're starring your questions as we go along, by the way. So go ahead, ask your questions, put your comments up. Everybody's welcome to do that.
I liked how that threw down the gauntlet for the government with this whole thing. It kind of did to a degree. Godot says Brazilian case 70s, Amazon village, many months, hostile UFO attacks, many recorded injuries, a few deaths, military presence, and is one of the biggest cases globally.
That's right.
Then Stone Maven, would that have been around the time that MRSA had just been identified? No, this MRSA. So, fun fact. Jack of all trades here. I actually went to nursing school for a long time before I decided to be a chef. There was a lot of stuff happened that made me become a chef, but we'll not do that on this show because it's kind of traumatic. But anyway, MRSA started really being identified back in the 60s. There were some doctors, I think they were somewhere in Europe, can't remember where. But it was identified first in Europe and then was being treated kind of with broad spectrum at that point until they could really pin down what the most effective antibiotics and such were for it. So they, fast forward 30 years where they had pretty well figured out what to treat you with for MRSA, but MRSA is still to this day gnarly. You don't want to get it, and it spreads like wildfire through hospital floors. So it's not something you want to fool with. Then there are hundreds of races visiting discreetly, some at war with others, many types and intentions and interaction categories. That very well could be accurate.
Yeah.
Octopus says more likely than not, it's simply a bacteria that doesn't make the alien sick, but it's too alien, for lack of a better word, for our immune systems to recognize or fight off. That is one of the strongest hypotheses for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's quite amazing how our military is the one that kind of goes and takes over these. But I would say we probably have some of the best unknown technology to us for a lot of these investigations, which is why some of these other countries get us involved.
Right.
Well, I'll also say this, I'm going to throw that up there because, this case has a lot of similarities to what happened in Flatwoods, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
It's got the weird sulfury smell. It's got the stigmatization of the victims,
Yep. Fiery crash.
Fiery crash, I mean, I'm just saying there's a lot of similarities in these stories, and that kind of points to a pattern, a model, which also kind of points to I believe it was they had Jacques Vallée on there by the big screen, as I recall, and he said a couple of things in his little presentation that he hinted at, and that was basically that there are other cases that this fit the same profile for. And one of the things that he was really amazed about and that he focused on was the fact that this thing breathed air. If you noticed what he said, he's like, that was one of the main things that he focused on, was that it could breathe air. And I thought, well, it's interesting that he would focus on that, but it kind of points to the fact that the others could as well. How can they breathe our air? And is their respiratory system the same in some way? If it is, we got a lot of questions.
Could that be why they died so quickly?
Could be, right?
Because they could breathe our air, but it's similar to us sitting in a car breathing carbon monoxide.
Right. We don't know.
Toxic to our system and slowly burns you out.
Well, our theory is, as we've said for many years, that it doesn't seem that the biology behind whatever this is can exist in three-dimensional space for an infinite amount of time. It kind of seems like there's a finite amount of time that it can exist beyond the bubble, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know. No more than anybody else does. Beth?
But it says we don't know where all these bacteria really came from in the first place. They may have been playing this game for a long time to keep us from truly overpopulating. That would be part of the zoo experiment kind of hypothesis.
Yeah. All right. Next, what do we got? Let's go to presentation mode once more. I'll find the video. Okay, so our next one is going to be from the doctor. All right. You heard from the pathologist who saw the soldier. Now we're going to hear from the actual the doctor. So here we go.
Specializing in neurology and neurosurgery with nearly 5 decades of experience in both clinical care and specialized neurological procedures. He is currently the leading neurosurgeon at Regional Hospital. He maintains a private practice and is also involved in healthcare management through his medical services company. For the first time in a public setting, we are honored to hear directly from Dr. Italo, who will describe his face-to-face interaction with a captured living being of advanced non-human intelligence, an apparent survivor of the Varginha crash. His experience represents one of the most significant developments in the history of UAP investigations. Dr. Italo.
I held on to a very big secret for 29 years, sharing it only with a few medical colleagues, even though many others knew what I knew.
That's common, by the way. So I know a lot of people have tried to attack him for this. They're like, oh, he should have said something years ago. Why did he not say this? Why didn't you know that? Really? If you knew probably what he knew, and as much as they get made fun of, I mean, come on. It's his career. He's not going to jeopardize that. Why now? He tells you why.
In 2023, I revealed to James Fox and his team that I had seen a video of a non-human creature in the hospital on January 20th, 1996. After suffering a near fatal heart attack in 2024, I felt compelled to share more details of my experience despite previous concern about consequences for my career. That afternoon in 1996, I was working at Varginha Regional Hospital when my colleague and fellow neurosurgeon Marcos Vinicio Neve urgently called me into an improvised intensive care room. He was carrying a large video camera. Upon entering, he showed me a black and white video on the camera screen that appeared to be a child lying in bed with an extreme case of hydrocephalus. I asked, "What is this?" He pointed past the makeshift partition where a being was lying. I got closer. The moment I looked at the being, I immediately knew it was not human.
Let's go to the next one.
I first examined it as with a medical perspective, breathing well, no apparent pain, conscious, no bleeding. It seemed fine, with a calm and serene expression. It looked like a 7-year-old child with a sheet covering up to its waist. Its eyes were lilac and teardrop shaped. The cranium was also teardrop shaped. The skin was white, the arms were very thin, and the hand had 3 fingers and an opposing thumb. It had no nipples and a tiny mouth. He looked at me, then looked at the blue sky through the window as if longing to be there, then looked back at me. After that, I sensed it was fully aware of what was happening around it and our intention to help. I felt it was grateful for the care and wanted to leave. Its serenity and powerful presence led me to believe it had a very high level of intelligence and perception, higher than human beings. It seemed like an angel with understanding and compassion in its gaze, aware that, despite our limitations, we were doing the best we could for it. I stand before you with nothing to gain and everything to lose. I am not selling anything or asking for money.
Eu sou uma testemunha. Thanks.
I still work as a neurosurgeon, and I am here because everyone, especially the younger generations, deserve to know there is much more beyond human existence, and I am eyewitness to the proof. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's discuss that.
So,
Yeah.
obviously, having an experience like this would just wreck you.
Yeah.
Because he, being a neurosurgeon and a practitioner of medicine, knowing that what we have, there's probably no way it's going to work on any kind of attempt to heal this thing or remedy it or help it, but still trying your best, not knowing if you could just accidentally poison it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But still knowing that that was a hazard and still trying to help and saying that whatever this creature was understanding of that.
Yeah. It's an interesting story because later during the Q&A, someone asked him a little more about it. They actually asked him a question that I myself asked because they put up the thing there where you could ask your questions to Ross, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's no way it's ever going to go through. I knew that, but I did it anyway. I wanted to know if the doctor had ever experienced anything other following this, anything strange following this. And one of the first questions that was asked was someone who gets up and actually asked that question. It was like the second question or something, but they literally asked that same question. And that should tell you something right there.
Everybody's now at this point, anybody who's in that room, is familiar with Skinwalker Ranch.
Exactly.
They're familiar with Skinwalker at the Pentagon. They're familiar with
the contagions, the hitchhiker effect.
Yep.
What happens?
All the books, all the research. Yeah.
So they asked, And he said basically he didn't quite understand the question, I don't think, as much. So he just kind of went into this other explanation. And then he eventually said no, he had not had any, anything else like that. But he did go more in depth on how he had this connection with that creature. And I found that a little more fascinating, honestly, than that little brief, thing that he read basically there, his little prepared speech. But he said that it had full control of the room. That was his thing. Even though it was laying there in bed, it was, injured in some way, or something was wrong. It had full control. And it matches everything that we've heard about these various phenomena, that these entities, these beings, whatever, they have control regardless. It almost seems like as long as there's life in them, they are in complete control to some degree. And the high intelligence.
And what would you, there's physical description.
Yeah.
And what would you make of the physiology? Obviously, we're not dealing with something that we understand as mammalian, clearly.
Yeah.
Basically because for the simple reason it doesn't have nipples.
Yeah.
So, are we dealing with something that could technically fit the reptilian thing? Or, because you don't know what this stuff is.
Yeah, you don't know.
I mean, we unfortunately don't have one in our basement, unlike the folks in Brazil there for a minute.
No.
There's whole Galactic Federation.
No,
right?
You're not wrong. And it shows the possible diversity of whatever's out there. That's the whole thing, because again, there are these folks who want to run around. I've seen it so many times, every week, every day. Everyone knows what they are. Everyone knows. Oh, aliens. Oh, that's demons. That's fallen angels. That's
that's
this.
It's
like
religious explanation.
Well, here's my thing about that.
The ones that kill me are the ones that are like, oh yeah, those are the ones that are from this place on this planet.
Well, this is the other part.
And have this culture.
Yeah, that's my other part. It's like, do you even know what this was? No, you don't. No one knew what this was. And you can't sit there and put a blanket over every single thing and say it's this or that. All we know is it's an unknown. Literally, that's the right answer. I know by the way, I don't know if you guys knew, but the last little short that I did for us, where I basically told people that, what we had said here, which is basically there are no experts, right? 3 people left. 3 people left. They unsubscribed because of that. I know. And now we have, I think, 3 more backs. So it doesn't really matter. The whole point is you're always going to have someone who disagrees with what you say. I think the best thing to do in that situation is just to say, we don't know what this is. Anything else is just a pure guess. I mean, that's all it is. He wasn't from around our part of the world. Let's put it that way. I think that it doesn't fit your traditional gray. Doesn't sound like a gray to me.
No,
this isn't a gray. I mean, and then you're like, well, but it has that teardrop head that grays are supposed to have. Sure does. It's got those weird almond eyes, but the eyes are a different color. Diversity may be universal, guys. I'm sorry. This is what the data.
Yeah, I mean, diversity isn't just attributed to humans,
right? And
diversity. You've got everything has versions. We know specific clades, and then there's diversity throughout the entire clade.
Yeah. Well, let's look at morphologies just in species alone. That's the whole thing. And that's the most amazing part about this, really. And that's what should excite people. It shouldn't be, that this is a gray or this is a whatever. I don't even know some of the names that they make up for these things. The point is we don't even know if it's an alien, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. That's the whole beautiful part of it.
Well, octopus right here, kind of with what you just said. Oh, I've got a good point. We categorize aliens by types of terrestrial life, basically anthropomorphizing it by calling them mantis, reptilians, Nordic, but they're supposed to be aliens. They shouldn't be bugs or reptiles or humans.
Labels. Absolutely.
But people get so mad when you ask logical questions.
It's so true. They really do. You know what? I'm going to clip this because this is a really good segment right here for a short. So Octo, you're going to be in the next short. You too, actually. The thing is, to me, is that someone had said it earlier. I think they had said something about how this was revolutionary. It's going to change things. Yeah, it is. I mean, it really is. And it does seem to me that we are moving to that point. We are moving to this 0 point pretty quick at this point, I think. We see this momentum building. There's talk now. What is it? That there's going to be this official disclosure. Don't believe that, by the way. Believe it when you hear it.
Yeah. Like talk about how far back human beings go, or like there was today.
Which day? Which day? How far back?
Well, there was that cave painting that they finally dated. It's about 15,000 years older than the previous finding, which they dated back to 67,800 years. So
isn't that nuts?
First cave art, and I mean that's obviously
right.
They could draw, so there was intelligence, obviously.
Well, what if? And this is where we have to be with this stuff. If we're going to try to solve these greater mysteries, we have to put everything on the table. We have to think about everything, even the things that we know have an almost near zero probability. But here's the thing: what if? Someone today actually did that. And what I mean by that is not the person themselves, but whatever we actually are beyond this, beyond, the flesh, so to speak. Am I talking about reincarnated aliens? I don't know what I'm talking about. But what I'm telling you is that we have to put everything on the table. That's what we have to do in order to try to understand any of this stuff. We cannot sit around and say we know what this is. It's no better than some of these hard, nosed scientists that we've got who will never budge from a certain theory.
Yeah.
Even when they're shown the papers, even when they're shown the data, they will not budge from it because it's too uncomfortable, because they would have to learn something else. And they probably, I don't know, they probably lose some grants, to be honest. I don't know.
I was going to say, it's probably, they'd lose money. They'd lose federal funding.
That's probably what it is, man.
They lose state funding.
It's like the Göbekli Tepe, there's so much of that that's still buried over there that they don't want to dig up. So it's which I think is really odd about that, because it's pre-civilization, obviously advanced civilization. They don't want to dig it up. I mean, any more than what they pretty much have, which I think is very strange. Whether there's intent in that or not. I mean, it's out in the desert, so it's like, what's it going to hurt for them to dig it up and like they would any other archaeological site? What are they so afraid of finding out there?
Ashley makes a good point. We do need more press conferences like this. You're absolutely right, Ashley. 100%.
We had a couple friends there too, and they said it was just fantastic. Like everybody was able to talk, and it was good.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need to see more of that, and less of these. No, there were celebrities there, but less of these, paid celebrity gatherings. Nothing wrong with those. I'm just saying that you're not getting a lot of data from that. All you're getting is someone who shows up and says the same thing year after year after year, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's at large. That is what the press conference is.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least this time it wasn't Greer from the pedestal.
Thankfully. Yes. So yeah.
Now
goes the next one.
Octo brings up a really interesting point, that God, whatever we call God is, God might be guiding life on other planets too, towards intelligence, consciousness, goodness, godliness, this in his image. Almost all aliens are bipedal, bilaterally symmetrical. I've marinated on this topic for a long time and meditated on it too. I would think almost that you'd been hanging out with Michael Carter a bit by the way you're talking, but yeah. And not like, you know, it goes back, and that ideology reinforces what previous popes have said, going all the way back in, honestly, to medieval times. So it's very plausible, you know, that we consider what we call the creator of the universe is right there, creator of the universe, creator of the multiverse, creator. It's just one singular point, origin point, spreads from there. And you know, it's plausible. It's as plausible as anything else.
Yeah.
LR says these beings may be projecting themselves to be less intimidating to us. We've talked about this before.
We've talked about that.
Screen imaging.
Right.
To not break your brain.
Right. To not break your brain. To fit in. To camouflage. This is an MO from these things. It kind of seems. We talked about that before too. It's like, so why would this one be any different? Because it was hurt? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, we don't have any testimony from another injured alien as far as it goes, right? So we can't compare. We don't know.
It depends on if you think Skinny Bob drilled.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But there's also the other one. There's a few others. Skinny Bob's not an exclusive, okay?
Yeah.
There are a handful of contact experiences that I don't know. I don't want to say they're made up or they're
yeah,
you know, just pure disinformation, because we don't know for sure.
Yeah. Lie sandwiches do exist.
Yeah. But there's a lot of implied messages that these things work potentially in somewhat of a cooperative manner and have for decades after, you know, crash landing here.
Right. Right.
Ashley says these stories matter. These experiences matter. The people matter. Even if they all collectively had mass hysteria, which they didn't, they still believe what they experienced.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, again, to go into how that kind of works, we've talked about this before, but yeah, it's the Doom Kitty. You're right. That's what that is, Brenda. That's the Doom Kitty.
One of the four.
So
making her grand appearance.
Oh my goodness. There's a direct bridge between magic and science. Okay. Labels.
Oh, Ashley brought it up. I scrolled down and saw it. What do you guys think of Skinny Bob? I've got a story about that one. Skinny Bob, I've been on, and I've kind of lived on the Skinny Bob subreddit for the better part of 5-6 years, just because there always seems to be more analysis. I have to say, the guy that started the Skinny Bob Reddit, I do tend to agree with him that the video, at least the video that we've seen, has been heavily edited.
Yeah.
Now, is that video of original footage that's been edited? Or is it just all total fabrication? I can't say either way because I don't have it. in my hands to sit and look at, but I based off of the analysis and everything I've seen, the videos that have been done on it, I tend to be inclined that and it's just me personally, I'm not going to speak for Dave and Ron. I do tend to believe that Skinny Bob is a bit of a fabrication, at least in what we've seen.
Just a little bit of a deep fake, probably.
Yeah.
And a really good one at that. So someone put some money in that one. But I do agree with Octo. Bob was skinny.
Indeed.
So.
And oddly enough,
Oh yeah.
I got a Skinny Bob.
You do have a Skinny Bob. That's true. It's true. The whole thing with this stuff, man, is it real? You have so many people who ask that question. Is it real? Is it real? And, let's play philosophy a little bit for just a second here. What is real? The only thing that is real is what you decide is real, because your brain interprets everything you see, everything you feel, everything you experience comes through that portal, right? So if I can manipulate that signal in any way, I can change your reality.
Yeah.
And if we're dealing with something that's, thousands of years old, who knows, millions, maybe. We don't even know at this point. A technology that's so advanced that even, like Ashley said, looks like magic to us.
Yep.
I mean, anything's possible. Literally anything is possible at that point. And that's the kind of stuff you have to think about. And that's what we have to put on the table. And that's why this discussion is going to get very weird as we move forward. And I mean, we as the community.
Yeah. Tony asks, which do we think has had more analysis, Skinny Bob or the PGF? PGF just simply because it's used in film school and has been since its release. Speaking of creators, did anyone catch this claim by dog trainer Pete Kane? Oh God, this guy. So he's a dog trainer. Pete Kane's actually a stand-up comedian. I don't know if anybody else knows that, but he's been doing this stuff for like about 12 or 15 years. I think closer to 15. And yeah, he's got all kinds of fake pieces and goes on and does. He basically trolls Bigfoot pages is essentially what he does. Then, how old were you when you had your first alien dream?
Oh, that's a good question. Great question. Dave, how old were you when you had your first alien dream?
Dave's muted. Hang tight.
Oh, unmute
Dave's
Dave.
unmuted. Go ahead.
Go, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had a proper one or not, to be honest with you. I've had some really strange things dreams I can't put into words, maybe.
But alien per se? Well, you knew it was an alien? Really? Joe?
For me, I don't think this is really truly a fair question, because my favorite movie when I was a child, so much that I watched it to the tape was rolled out, was E.T. So like I had a lot of alien dreams.
I got you.
And yeah, I even had the little leather plushy ET.
Right. With the little finger lights up and all that stuff.
Yeah, my finger didn't light up.
Oh, okay.
No, we didn't have one of those. This was it was one of the really old ones, because it was a hand-me-down.
And mine weren't dreams, for the record, but we're not going there yet. What's our next question?
We need to stop thinking that there's a solution to everything and that we know that everything has been discovered, and start thinking outside the box. Exactly.
That's the truth.
Ashley talking about Skinny Bob. Joe's playing it safe. Ask me my story next time I'm on. We will. Oh yeah, absolutely. Count on it. Put that in the books. Then let's see. Folks, if you're new here, do hit the like, do hit that share, do subscribe, because we have a very interesting show. We like to, as you see, bring you guys in here into the conversation and discussion from time to time, which is
always good, because if we're ever going to find answers to any of this stuff, it's not one of us that's going to find it. It's all of us that's going to find it. And we like to do that, together.
Brenda says that her first alien dream was probably after reading communion. So it's when a lot of people first really started realizing
that triggered a lot of people. Yeah. It triggered me in a different way. I couldn't stand that book. Thought it was.
Godot says, I'm trained and often have lucid dreams, very interesting consequences and useful. That it is.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It is a gateway.
Then Stone Maven, I don't know that I've ever really had an alien dream. Then Beth says, we've been having UFO sighting over this way, by the way, all over this little town. Really?
Well,
I know that we get videos from you periodically there, and we need to see if you can get anybody else to capture anything.
Yep, absolutely. We need some footage from others out that way. So if you can get someone, by all means, let's do it. Joe, take us presentation mode. We have the Colonel. I want to do Colonel Clausen's thing that he said on here. And
all right. Well, before we jump there, Ashley says, I don't remember my dreams often. It's pretty rare. I guess because the truth is stranger than fiction.
Right. I can relate. Let's see. So this is Colonel Clausen, and I didn't put his whole thing on here because it goes on for a good while, but we will paraphrase it toward the end. He's basically telling them exactly what you need to do to prove that this took place.
Without further ado, Colonel Clausen, thank you so much for being here today. Here we go.
My name is Fred Clausen. I'm a retired U.S. Air Force bird colonel and fighter pilot. I have more than 4,000 hours of flying time in the F-15, the F-4, and I flew combat missions in the F-105 during the Vietnam conflict. I was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross twice and held a top secret SCI clearance. While flying the F-15, I intercepted a UFO. I took gun camera film, which was immediately confiscated. But that's another story for another time. Today, I am speaking on another matter, a matter that requires world attention.
Not national attention, kids. World attention.
According to several Brazilian authorities, including air traffic controller Marcos Freires, on or about the 20th of January, 1996, a U.S. Air Force cargo plane, most likely a C-17, took off from a base in the U.S. and it flew secretly into Brazilian airspace without flight clearance from Brazilian government, and it landed at Viracopos Airport in Campinas. While at Campinas, witnesses talked of it loading an unusual cargo, then departing to an unknown location in the United States.
Now, he goes on, but what he's going to tell them, and it was so long, I couldn't do that. We're just going to follow up at the end, but he lays out a detailed model of where to look for this paper trail that has to exist somewhere that proved not only, this happened, but where it went, what it was, who may have seen it, etc.
Now I'm going to address this question real quick. Yes, that is really how it's pronounced.
Yes, it is.
I've been there. And everybody on that panel is far more mature than myself and everyone else that was on that flight.
True, I am certain that 30 to 40 Americans had direct knowledge of this flight and its purpose. As you can see from this possible scenario, I estimate that at least 30 to 40 Americans have direct knowledge of this mission. So here's my plea today. If you were a participant and have knowledge of the mission, come forward. You are probably retired now, in your 70s, maybe a little older like me, and have languished for 30 years with this knowledge. Come forward. We know this mission happened, and you know it too. Come forward. The time is now. Thank you.
Hey, that was our friend sitting right beside Ross's co-anchor.
What is it? Who? What?
That was our buddy that was sitting beside Ross's co-anchor, the guy that
I
we met at
didn't
the
see him.
UFO festivals in Mothman. And hung out there
Without
for
further ado, Colonel
Where's he at?
Clausen.
the tattoo right there.
Whoop.
When it shows her on the bigger blown up side of the screen.
Uh-huh. Let me see if I can find it.
Right there. That's his arm.
Oh, I see.
And
Yeah.
like it showed it,
Yeah.
she was blown up just a little bit there and you could see his face. That's
So-
cool.
So,
We got a podcast, I think it's called the Soul Fire Podcast.
okay. So that was a challenge.
Ashley says, name them. Let's stop disrespecting their privacy. Call them out, sir. I couldn't do that to people that I served with.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. For more than one reason. Some of them, depending on the situation, because there's not been amnesty declared, because there's not
Gotta have
been
that.
because there's not been the whistleblower protections really kind of suck. They've not been guaranteed to not lose their pensions, their retirements. And if you do something, say you've been having military retirement for however long. If you do something to lose that retirement, they actually will retroactively declare that you owe it all back to them. And you are now forever many years in debt, and they will take everything and seize everything you have. So that's a tough one. Like, I mean, to a measure, I would like to see that happen, but I couldn't do that.
No.
That's a huge. But if everyone started talking, then what? You're still talking about a handful of people.
Yeah.
They can target a handful. Now,
literally,
if everyone counted into over 5,000-6,000 people that would come forward at once, where you'd have, less employees that exist in the government workforce to go after them. You have to have like that kind of numbers. You would have to have
I don't
more
even think that would
people
matter.
than there exist employees.
Yeah, I don't think that would matter, because I don't think there's enough people who've had hands-on,
Right.
literal
It's
hands-on.
so few.
Because that's who we want. We want the people who have actually touched it, the people who have actually been in the room with it, because someone who knows somebody who saw something, who knew somebody, that's a great story. But, to do it the right way, we really do need those firsthand people. I don't think there's that many, guys. I really do not.
Yeah.
Like he's saying 30 to 40 just for that flight, right? But
yeah.
Okay. So out of those 25, 30, 40, whatever people, how many actually saw it?
Yeah, let me explain some of this real quick, because I was on what was called a red ball team.
Yeah,
I was assigned to an aircraft. We flew to South America quite a bit. The aircraft that I was assigned to, we had two pilots, a crew chief, me, sheet metal guy. We had a couple load masters. We had two guys for the pneumatics, so hydraulic systems. We had a couple guys for fuel, and it was a total of around 14 to 16 people, depending on the length and duration of the trip. Because normally we weren't going down there for long trips. We were down and backs a lot of the time. But we were designated to that aircraft in case something happens. That aircraft had a crew that could get that bird back up in the air long enough to get it back home, to get it into a hangar and into phase where it could be repaired. So let's just say right there, I just named that's one flight, 16 people. Of all the work that I did doing that, there was only a handful of times that I ever left the flight line. We would go in, we would be there. Unless we were staying down there for like, a couple weeks or a month or so, then, and even at that, like I didn't go where I wasn't designated to be because it's very compartmentalized and, we're there in another country. You may or may not be welcome there 100%. And so you're told to stay in certain areas. And if you do go to certain areas, you have to stay in these green areas. If you go out of those areas, you could get in trouble and you could actually wind up getting but the, you are talking about maybe now this was just the red ball team. We were all maintainers. We had sometimes between 10 and 50 people with us.
Yeah.
That were doing the work, like whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
Right. So of those people, they were only mission oriented. We didn't really know what they were doing.
Right.
It was compartmentalized. We had no clue.
Right.
So you're talking of those, let's just say 15 that went out and did operation or went out to go deliver things, whatever. Of the 15, how many of the 15 knew the full run? Of that, maybe 3 or 4 that did, how many of those 3 or 4 actually had the hands-on of the payload or the whatever? Maybe 1, maybe 2. Very compartmentalized.
Yeah.
Joe, without naming names, of course, did anyone while you were in the service ever talk about seeing things in the sky? Yes. And I was one of them. I didn't see things like while we were flying, but I've talked about it here on the show like a few years back. And that's one reason why I looked up as soon as the very first time I held our thermal.
Yeah.
I looked up because I just wanted to see if we had them here too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how that began pretty much. You looked up and we had some kind of validation that there's really something up there moving around. And it wasn't more than a year later that everybody kind of figured that out, I guess, nationwide and worldwide, because that's when, everyone started talking about, there's these things all around the world, little orbs, little balls of whatever they are, Yeah, guys, I, as far as it goes with this thing, I think that this case, there's a lot more going to come from it. A whole lot more going to come from it. I have the one final slide here. You go ahead and put us back in the presentation. It's from James saying what the plans are. And listen to what he says here. Listen to what he says.
Today marks the 30th anniversary of this incident. We're going back to Brazil in a couple of days, meeting with the mayor. We're going to be giving presentations. So if anyone out there is listening to this, it's involved certainly on the American side, particularly on the Brazilian side. If you're ever thinking about coming forward, now's the time.
So basically, it was a massive call out to get as many witnesses front and center as possible. They don't want to see this turn into another Roswell where you just have, a couple of people, giving last minute statements or something, right? So the idea is to actually get this on record, get these people to come forward and just maybe, force the door open. If we can't do it here, we might be able to do it there. And it might point back here because, there's a lot of talk after this, Joe, about this base on the East Coast where supposedly something was taken.
Yeah.
They're not talking about Right Pat.
Nope.
And that's the first time we've heard this publicly, like broad scale publicly. So there's movement on that. You have
Twice
to look.
already.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
What was that, Dave? Go ahead.
So that base, it's been in the news. It's been in the news twice in the past 3 days, I think, Ron.
Yes, absolutely.
That.
Yes, and when you see that, it's a pattern, and it usually leads up to the next step in whatever this is going to be. And we think that that next step will be, someone's going to bring some evidence out. Actually, I don't think we got too much longer to work, to wait on that. We don't have to do too much at this point, I don't think, but wait. The work's been done out there.
Stone Maven says soon I don't think they'll have the option to hide it anymore.
Yeah. And that's probably the reason that we're pushing it so fast, to be honest. Again, I don't think it's our call.
It's going to be interesting.
Sure is. Absolutely. So where do we go from here, boys and girls? That's the question. What happens after this? Did it move anything really forward?
This one I don't think did, because it was really nothing different than his documentary.
Mm-hmm.
It was just live and in person.
In person. There were things that happened behind the scenes that we're not privy
and
to.
Burleson was there.
And that's
another representative was there that didn't go up on the stage and speak.
Yep.
So there were 2 representatives of Congress there, at least, that we know of.
Well, the Brazilian one literally started off saying he was there of his own accord and he had no representation. He was not representing the Brazilian Congress.
I'm here, but unofficially.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's not what I wanted to hear, but all right then. And yeah, guys, I don't know. I think that it got people talking, but we got to get a little more than just people talking.
Yeah, you are. I think more than anything, this was a big publicity run to try to draw out people in Brazil.
Yeah.
To say, look, you can talk about this in more places than home.
Look, we did this here in the U.S. These people are receptive to it.
Yep.
Yeah, you're probably right, because, from what I understand, it's major no talking about this there. I mean, you are
very taboo.
Yeah, very taboo. So, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, it could be that. And if that's the case, then the ultimate goal is to get that video.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if they
I
get the
think our
video?
lives are being threatened still, and
I guarantee that.
it's going to be ongoing.
Sure. But what happens if they get the video, Joe? That's our
Well,
next.
you and I talked about this on the drive home.
Here's the next part of this. Yeah. What happens? You've thought about this. You've given this great thought, apparently.
Yeah. If they get the video, then it's going to get the Patterson-Gimlin treatment. We've seen this before. Authentic video of what may or may not be real. But we trust the sources. We trust the sources because we know the sources. We're familiar with the sources. James trusts the sources because he's familiar with the sources. We want to trust the sources because we trust James to whatever extent that is. And when this video comes out to many people, it's just going to be a video. It's going to be a prop, a well-manufactured prop. The only another thing that could be said is that this could have been a long fake, somebody playing the long game, because if we get the video, then we're going to see both of those doctors in their younger bodies. So that means that they would have been in on it if that's the case. Or it's real. And then the public still gives it the Patterson-Gimlin treatment. That it's just a fake video, even though it's authentic. Now, it is a bad place to be in on either side, because if, let's just say this, they see this video and you get a lot of people that do accept it. And they're like, oh, this is real. This is authentic.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go back to the Patterson-Gimlin film. What about it? Is it real and authentic now too? Because it was 30 years prior. Less special effects ability. And they pulled that off. Could they have done this? I don't know. It is a weird situation for folks who have been doing this for as long as we have, and for individuals who have been invested in the high strangeness, paranormal, Bigfoot communities for long periods of time, because in the Bigfoot world, Patty is the trophy on the wall that nobody can replicate.
It's
to this day.
gold standard.
It is the gold standard.
Yeah.
In the UFO community, there's a few gold standard videos of UFOs, not a single one of an alien autopsy. There is
A real one. No.
a real one, exactly. Because in the 90s, no less, we did have an alien autopsy series on Fox.
Oh my gosh.
Not long after this happened.
Yeah, that can't be lost upon any of this at this point, right?
No, like when I say not long, I'm talking like a year and a half, 2 years. It went into production. And, here is this video. If they find it, if they get it, the only way to authenticate it is the people in the video. We'll know them because we've seen them in this press conference at this point. But again, it's going to get ripped apart by the public. It doesn't matter how good the PG film is. It doesn't matter how impossible it was to recreate that kind of a suit and movement back then. It's still one of the greatest hoaxes in the world. To some. To many. What will those same people make of this?
It's clever. I mean, it's a very curious question. It really is. It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Are they going to jump ship? Are they going to, how can one be real and one not? That kind of a situation, right? Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to bank it all on this one thing? I don't know.
Hippie, thank you for the reminder there.
Yes, everyone remember to like, and after this live cast, under the comments, do your thing, and also hype the video. And yeah, it is free and it does help us. It helps us tremendously. You have no idea. The more points we get with hypes, the more people see this.
That's right. And this was the other ET video, the J-Rod video.
J-Rod, yeah. The interrogation. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. What else we got up here? Somebody else say something? Anybody else say something? Oh yeah, let's not forget this.
Yeah.
Let's not forget
this week's news. Former executive of the Bank of England report to Bank Executive Board in case of U.S. government making alien disclosure, make a contingency plan for global financial collapse and run on the banks.
Now, do you think that they did this in regards to the rumors that are going around, the whole disclosure stuff, or they really thought that this press conference was going to be something?
I don't think necessarily it was so much about this press conference being a thing as much as they really are looking at this from a larger kind of window.
Yeah.
Like a much higher altitude perspective.
Right.
Because you and I spoke about this too, I think, and Dave was in on this chat. Because we laughed and balked at this, but then I sit and thought about it for a second. I was like, wait. What this means is if there's disclosure, part of that disclosure is going to have to be saying, yeah, we have a legacy program.
Right.
And yeah, we have this technology. So here's the technology and here's the limitless energy.
Yeah.
With limitless energy, how you can't say that there's a scarcity on limitless.
No, you can't.
That means there's not money in it anymore. And the Department of Energy is a very, very lucrative department to be involved in.
That's correct.
Because everybody's got to have electricity these days, at least in the US and the UK, the people who use banks.
Yeah.
And you would see major institutional collapse. That's going to be, it's ontological and financial shock is probably what's really going to happen if we look at this the right way. because there's not, and this could be a reason why disclosure and all that stuff hasn't really fully happened, is they haven't figured out a way
to mitigate this,
to price gouge free energy.
Well, they haven't figured out a way to either they haven't figured out a way to mitigate this whole thing, or like you said, they haven't figured out a way to market the aftermath. Now, once they figure out a way to market the aftermath, well, that's pretty much vault tech again, isn't it? I mean, that's really what you've done here.
Oh yeah.
You're literally trying to capitalize on, what could be the decimation of the known world, but sure, why not? Let's all go there and do that.
Yeah, the bank exec was mentioning Rubio's comments too, and in some of the articles didn't run that for whatever reason, but a few of them did. They did mention that.
I think the climate is warm in that regards. Let's just say that,
and
we're watching it,
because if there's you're talking, if some of this stuff just comes out, you got to control how it comes out. Otherwise, you wind up in a society like they have in Star Trek, but you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
In Star Trek, they don't have money. Galactic Federation doesn't have money. Don't need it. Why do you need money?
Yeah. It's
you
true.
Can make anything. You can go anywhere.
Replicator does anything.
Bang. Done.
Everybody can use one. So,
right.
And
so you don't need money. And if you don't need money,
why did they sit at the poker table and play poker all the time? I don't understand. Why were they doing that? Just for fun? No, I'm kidding. Of course.
Basically.
That's the whole point. The whole point is everything that they did was for fun. And there are people who are like, oh no, well, they obviously had some form of money. No, they didn't, because if you watch Next Generation, there is a
whole episode based on it.
There's an episode.
I think like 2 episodes, isn't it?
Well, there's one episode in particular where they go back and it's kind of a homage back to the original series where they get someone from the past. They bring him in and they're like showing him around, and they're like, Picard's telling him how we don't use that anymore, and because anybody can do this and blah blah blah, and everyone works because it benefits everyone else. And it's like, well, he's pretty much describing communism, but in a way that actually worked. And
it wasn't communism in a way that you got paid.
No,
it's just like you worked and you kept things moving because you needed things to keep moving, so that way you didn't have to pay for things.
Yeah.
You needed things to function so you could go and continue exploring and see what else was out there, but you also wanted to make sure that everything worked to get there.
So everything in the Federation, there's no money, right? But obviously there's something, because they're making deals with all these other galactic races, right? Look at the Ferengi. I mean, gold pressed platinum. I mean, it means that's a currency. Yeah. So, there was obviously value to everything that we do, I guess, at some point. But man, I don't know. I mean, as far as
the currency could be us.
Well, it could be, but I doubt it. We're not very valuable.
I don't know. They have a
good weekend. But you're talking a massive change overnight, like not societally, not really any much of a change religion, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you're talking a massive societal change, a massive like cultural change, massive financial change.
My question is, why would it be? That's the number one thing. Like, why would you, knowing that there's another life form out there, really change anything? The
knowing there's another life form doesn't.
But an invasion would.
But an invasion would. But knowing that the technology, that we have the technology to do whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want, that would radically change things.
Only if they proved, like you said, that there was some form of retrieval, not only just a legacy thing, but they had to prove that it actually worked, that they got it up. See,
more than just proof of concept.
Yeah. I mean, we can find anything, but does it actually work anymore?
We've made our own now.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot to this, and I just don't see an instant answer to this. This isn't, cup of soup kind of a thing. All right. You're not just going to put water in it and close the lid and boom, instant. That ain't going to happen like that. I think you're right. I think there's going to be repercussions from this. And I think that's the reason why we are moving so slow, but we're also moving fast. That should.
This GoDot.
Yeah.
Great point. Because most people are anthropomorphic and earth-centric in their instinctual worldview.
Good point.
And that's what governs their behavioral patterns.
That's a good point.
Nail bet the head of a hammer right there. That is a great breakdown. Ashley says, well, Ron, there's whole groups of people that hate other people just because of their color, sex, culture, age, etc. I don't get it either. People have their reasons.
Yeah, you know what the number one reason is? Humans.
We do. I don't want to bring politics, and I'm not going to pick sides. I just want to. I think it actually there's a point. If you look all around the world, politically speaking, it does seem like the governments around the world are imposing or trying to impose more control over their citizens. It's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
It's what's behind that. Why the control?
If I knew, and this is just me being, me, not you, because you're Doomsday Dave, but everyone knows that I can be a little dark myself. So if we run some possible simulations, right, and we were to do that, well, we could look at that, those players on our board, and we could say, well, if there was something coming and all crap was about to break loose, just saying, you've got things positioned. What do we do when there's issues, in other countries? We conveniently have our fleets positioned throughout,
within striking range.
Right, within striking range. We always have that. We've always done that. We always do that. There's a reason we do that. It's strategy.
Yeah.
It's basic warfare, unfortunately. It's humans. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to profess to know what's going on. I am going to tell you this. Humanity has a choice. And I think we're going to get to see that. I really do. I think that we're going to get to see some people at some point either wake up or something's going to crash into us. I don't know. It's one of the two, right? And by something crashing into us, I don't mean an asteroid. It could happen too, but Dave will let us know. But what I'm saying is reality is going to crash into us. And we better be ready for it when it happens.
Ashley says, I agree. We don't have a strategy for this, and that's a problem.
Yeah. I don't think we can. And that's the other problem.
Yeah. It's too hard. Honestly,
it is.
Like I know it comes down to sitting on a bench with freaking Tommy Lee Jones, right? A person is smart, but people are scared, unpredictable, crazy, and dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me, Dave, Ron, Ashley, you guys in this crowd, something like this happens, we'd be like, told you so. The next morning, we knew it. We knew it.
Yeah.
So many people from this community would just be like, hey, yeah, we knew it. Now we need to kind of wrangle this in and sort of guide it where it needs to go. But you're still talking about the most insignificant amount.
Yeah. Against billions. Against billions.
Against the remaining, was it 8 billion? So the remaining 7.9 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And this is what they've been saying for years. This is some of the theories that why the visitations are occurring is because they're trying to move people into this, more positive mindset to where, oh, well, okay, this is real. So what? Once you're there, you're okay. So
Yeah.
what? But go out and tell that to someone. And what are they going to tell you? It's demons.
Yeah, you'll get a grab bag.
It's grab bag. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be everything from science fiction to demons to, worst case scenario, the first episode of South Park.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So no, you're not wrong. And I think that's the problem. The best thing we can do is just to remain open-minded, support each other in this, because again, there are many people, many people that are listening right now who are experiencers. They've had this brush in. They've seen something, they've experienced something. Whether they've seen it or felt it or sensed it, it doesn't matter. It's real to them. They know it's real. But if they tell someone, they're going to be, you're nuts. No, you're not nuts. These things do happen. They have happened. They've been happening for years. This is not new. This is something that's been a part of humanity for, what do you guys think? Probably, it may even pre-exist us, to be honest.
Since we started painting on cave walls, at least.
Exactly. And that's been a while. So think about that, as far as it goes, where are we heading? I don't know, but I can tell you this, we're going to stay on top of things, and we're going to keep, doing what we've been doing. Thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
Who come on here and support us every week. Give you an update real quick. First episode of Strange Realities is in post-production.
Oh, I'm gonna have to come over and watch it.
Well, yeah, it's in post-production, which means it's time to add, the scores and the fun little flashy bits.
Yeah, the final touches.
Yeah, the good stuff. So that's going to be a thing here very, very soon. I know someone had asked, when it was coming. Very, very, very shortly. And you guys will get to see that. And there's some interesting stuff in there. That's all I'm going to tell you for now. And that's just episode 1. By the time we get to the end of it, you're going to be wondering what in the world you just watched and why is no one talking about it? Honestly, that's what's going to happen. What else is happening, Joe? We've got some appearances at some point coming up.
We do. We've got first official show is OBC up in Salt Fork, Ohio. The rooms are booking up fast.
That's right.
Cabins are already sold out, except for the Gucci chalets. And then let's see. Shortly after that, the month after that, we will be at the Appalachian UFO Festival.
Yeah.
They're in Bristol, Virginia, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Area. Like it's literally on the border.
Yeah. Last year's was interrupted by Men in Black episode. So hopefully we'll actually get to, make a good presentation this year. Right.
Right. Well, I mean, the presentation went great. Everybody was shocked
wonderful.
the fact that we just kind of went off the cuff. Nobody else was prepared for that kind of stuff. And we've been doing this because we have a live show. So we're prepared for things to go not great at times.
Those are always
and we
fun.
can recover pretty well. Rick Skinner, keeping it free. Thank you.
Rick.
Thank you.
I'm gonna whistle you out, Rick. Oh, I didn't do that.
Oh, there it was. Da, 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 da. So, we got after the Withville UFO Festival, we will be at Ron will be at the Kecksburg.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about Kecksburg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe someone will take a picture of another one of my prints and
right, and try to pass off as something in the room, right, Pat?
That might be, well, no, it might be the Varginha alien.
Could be.
You know, they could take the.
I mean, I would use that alien you made there. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
cover
what.
this might as well put it on print.
That's what we'll do. Yeah. I'm gonna take some fake photos for you guys to take pictures of, so you can pass them out, and it can go viral. And then
Dude,
people
okay, I
use
just
it
had an
boom,
idea for
way
the
out.
next big art print.
Oh yeah.
All of the UFO, like the 3D modeled UFOs and aliens that you've done,
Yeah.
put them in individual Polaroid pictures and spread them on a table. Obviously Photoshop them into Polaroid pictures.
Yeah.
And like have them on a scattered table and then make that a print.
Yeah. And what would be better, honestly, is to print them off.
And actually make
and then take the photo and then make that a print. That would be
great. Yeah.
There's a lot of steps to that,
but it's doable.
But that's doable. That's doable. That would be fun.
Man special this year.
That could be funny. I like that. Maybe put little tags on them that says what Air Force Base they were taking it. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that, guys.
But yeah, it's then after that we're gonna be at the Carter County Bigfoot Festival in Carter County, Kentucky. That's on the 12th I think it's September 12th.
Oh, thank you, Octo. I didn't see that. Thanks. That was just fun.
What is it?
Octo. I didn't see the.
Oh, that was majestic, Ron. Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
Yep.
That was majestic. Did you catch that?
Oh yeah.
That was our first.
It was a relic.
Yeah, that was funny. MJX. Yeah. X.
Guys, I was going to say, I gotta before Joe does his out. I was going to say to bring the doom. We're getting this snowstorm supposedly this weekend all over like Kentucky, Ohio, everywhere, West Virginia. So right now, when that happens, and we get 2 feet of snow, and we're all trapped in our houses and we can't drive anywhere, that's when the aliens are going to come and present themselves, start abducting, take Ron finally again for like the 5th time.
I swear to God.
Yeah, they're going to show up, the tractor beam will come down, and they'll be standing there with open arms full of bread and milk.
Is that where it all went? That's where it all went, right? The aliens came and got it all.
They have the thing. They have the replicator, and they're just like,
oh, that's right.
Give you all you need. There will never be a shortage of toilet paper, bread, or milk ever again.
And folks, if we have anything to live for on this planet, that is the day that we have to live for, right there. The day that the replicators are real, and we don't have to worry about bread, milk, and eggs during a snowstorm. Let's all live for that moment. But until then, one game. Let's go. All right. Let me clear this out of the way so you guys can see what's going on. This is for you new folks who are like, what in the world's going on? Well, this is the end of the show. And at the end of the show, we like to do a little thing where we like to test some of our members out there, right? So
is this from a real skinned alien that I have in my basement? Have I been fibbing to you the whole time? Or is it going to be bacon square plus circular star?
What? Anyway,
it's a cut of Joe's rear.
Okay. All right, get your first impressions in. The first thing you think of when you see that card. Which one is it? Let's go. What do we got? First impression. You're just doing basic precognitive test here. That's all you're doing. But it's the first thing you see in your head. Just ask yourself, what is that card? I'm going to know what that card is when I snap my finger. That helps too sometimes. Sometimes you see a lot, but go with the first one.
They're rolling in.
We ready to roll? We good?
We'll go in 5,
4,
3, 2, 1.
I'm going to say it's a circle, but that's just me. It's not.
Us. Let's see who got it. We got the very first one out of the gate, L.R. Miller plus
Square.
He was the first guest.
Congratulations.
Brenda on her birthday says plus. Good job. You had a good track record last week too, Brenda.
Yeah.
Then we had.
See, we're keeping records.
You two. Y'all were it.
Just saying. We're keeping records. One more time. Ready? Get them going. Snap your finger, whatever it takes. That is what it is. And like that, right? Okay, what is it? Go. Oh, yeah. The hungry people say bacon. You're right. It's true. They do. They really do. This always makes me want bacon. Every time we do it.
All right, we're gonna go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And I say square. It's bacon.
Bacon. It's bacon. Let's see what we got. Jen's got bacon. Rick's got bacon. Tony's got bacon. So we got 3 that time around. Good job, guys.
Good job, guys. Great
We
job.
went up.
Yep. Look, the numbers are going up. What do you know about that? So, that concludes, that pretty much concludes this weekend's version of this. It is the weekend. We do have a massive snowstorm and whatever heading your way. Please do be safe so we can do this again next Thursday.
Yeah, and cross your fingers for power outages to not be too crazy.
Don't just cross your fingers. We've proven that we can affect reality.
That's true, yeah.
Don't dwell on it. Just say it's not going to happen. But we have to do that all together. See, that's how it works. It's got to be a collective thing. Everyone's got to do it. Group mentality.
Another way we can affect reality, though, Ron, is the next time you play this game, the first time everybody gets 4 in a row, like a star, whichever one is, they get the first copy of your new swimsuit calendar for 2026.
Yes, I'll agree to this.
I don't know why I hang out with any of you people. I really don't.
Oh man, guys, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate each and every one of you. And as a sign of said appreciation, here you go one more time for tonight. So again, thank you guys. Thanks everybody who donated tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you guys for helping keep the lights on here at Wild Weird Studios. You guys are what are fueling everything going on. Like Ron said, the first episode of Strange Realities is on deck. You guys will hopefully be seeing some of that soon. We're going to be going post-production. And it's special. It's something different. You're going to enjoy it. It's a very, very fun.
You know what? Jen's right there. We do. We need to make a special birthday blessing for people. So you're absolutely right. You know what? I'm going to work on that. We need to do that. We need a special birthday blessing for people. When they have a birthday, like we need to do the one thing, right?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Dave Eggleston, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Blessings.
You guys continue to keep being amazing and helping us out. And like I said, it is putting everything. We're throwing it back in, and we're gonna be back out in the field soon. We're also going to be having our meeting soon. It's probably about a month and a half, 2 months off. And again, that's a free meeting for anybody who can make it.
There'll be bacon.
Hey, yeah, there'll be bacon of some sort, I'm sure.
I'm guaranteeing there'll be bacon. There's always bacon, some shape or form.
And you guys are just fantastic. So you show up week in, week out. You show support for the show, for what we're doing, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate that. Then come hang out with us. Come check us out. The shows this year. We'll be posting up. I'm going to go on the website and make the new calendar for this year and get that put up there for you guys so you can see the current dates that we have. There might be a few other little spots where we might pop in and make unofficial appearances. You never know where you might see Zorp and Cargon show up. But until next time, remember.
You know what? Hang on before you do that. I'm sorry about that. Okay, this thing's on. Listen, here's the deal, guys. Make sure that you do go over and you do hit that hype button and you do hit that like and you leave us a little comment. I don't just leave a little smiley face if you want to. I don't care. The algorithm doesn't care. We don't care. The only thing that matters is it gets out there and we get this show out. And that's Wild and Weird Radio Live right there.
So till next time, remember, there's a new Master of the Universe trailer that's out there. That movie is going to be amazing. I'm super excited. And just, keep in mind and say in unison, we have the power. Good times, right? Good. Stay wild.